And when I come through that threshold, you got to deal with me. You'll learn to like me, learn to love me, learn to hate me. Either way, you'll know my name. That's what matters. I'm here for a purpose. Make opportunity. When somebody decides to shut the door in your face, you find a way to blow that bitch off the hinges.
Yeah! You know what it is? Jimmy Jones! Cool man! Melon man! It's a history in making! Baltimore!
You already know what it is. Hey Griff, I bet you I get this in one take, homie.
Rest in peace to K Swift.
Come on.
And Big Tony, we love you.
Let's go.
We gonna finish this out for you, huh?
Yeah.
We want all the haters.
We the pros in this. You know what I'm saying?
That we gonna put on for our city, man. Like, we doing this for y'all.
So yeah, we've been doing this hip hop club music for a long time. Me and our partners here. But it started like a while back, like me and this rapper named Trauma. And rapping, going to the studio, we split the time on the studio. And I was just like, fuck it, you rap way better than me. Fuck this shit. You need a manager. So I was like, we just go ahead and do this. So we was going to the studio, me, him, Jim Mack, Vic. We all pile in this little truck we had, drive to the studio every night. And then I already knew who Boo was on the turntables and stuff. And then I was hearing the beats and stuff. So it was a win-win. So we started going to the studio, all doing beats and everything. And working, trademarked and all that. And we went out as Crooked Streets from then on. Doing parties. Then we got invited to perform in Jamaica. So we just came back here, started doing our own events. And it was called the Hip Hop Cafe. We would come in, we were putting on our own artists to display, but we would put on other artists too, because put the whole city on, that's the only way you're gonna make it.
I mean, the main challenges in Baltimore is everybody feeling like they gotta be just the one. I mean, it was more camaraderie back then, but now, as the years go on, everybody feel like they gotta be the one and they gotta knock everybody else off to be the one to make it, you know what I'm saying? Outside of Baltimore, Baltimore is a city where we don't go for the okie doke, so I feel like they never embrace us like that, you know what I'm saying? Because, this city don't go for the bullshit, so,
When DC lost its base as far as music, you lost the interest. There's no labels, no major anything. So when you don't have that, that means you gotta travel further to go and try to go get the dream. And so it makes it a lot harder. And so what has happened is, I think here in Baltimore, people figure if I become king and I am the guy, then it will work, which that is a total entire lie. You have to have at least 4 or 5 artists who are continuously making that as a start of a base, and then everything succeeds beyond them.
So without having that support system, and if you're doing everything on your own, you kind of feel as though I should continue to be independent entirely. So when really that's not how the business works. I tell everybody, this business is 80% business, 20% talent. And with it being 20% talent, you gotta wonder, if it's 1 million people with that same talent, what stands out about you? What makes you special? There's always strength in numbers, but networking is the name of the game. Without that, you don't have a brand. Without that, you don't have an eyeball on what you're doing. So nobody's going to pick you out of the crowd, pick you out of the litter and say, this is what's special. We can sell this. We can market this. So a lot of people get overlooked.
Well, some of the things I help to do to push them along is teach them sonic value. It's not necessarily your talent that's just going to get you, because you're just not going to get in the studio and blah, 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 and the magic happens. I try to teach them sonic value, the importance of sound. You have people that go out and spend $4,000 on their car system. You can't come out the studio with trash.
There's not many clubs that you can go and practice your talent or kind of groom yourself for the public before you can even think about getting on a major show. So I think that's a major disconnect, and I think it really kind of hinders artists.
You got a lot of haters here, man. You got a lot of people on 92Q that we put in videos.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we had the #1 video on MTV, and
No love.
no love. You know You know what I'm saying? So how much what you gotta do? You know what I'm saying? I can get love outside this city. I can go to New York, Miami. You know what I'm saying? I can go anywhere.
But just to run down the resume right quick so y'all won't. This is the guy that put out Watch Out for the Big Girl. It's played in New York every weekend. It's played in New Jersey. It's played in Philly. It's played up and down the East Coast. Watch Out for the Big Girl. East Side Get Me Pumped. DJ Boo Man goes without saying. Y'all see him everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It goes without saying.
Watch Out for the Big Girl gets played in the club in Baltimore every weekend.
Today.
Still. Today.
Watch out for the big girl. 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 Big girl.
And the challenges is that everybody don't know how to stay under one umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Like we all been through. We put a lot of legwork in for a lot of people. Just knowing that once you get to a certain level, you got to be humble and take heed to what someone's trying to teach you.
My experience with Baltimore artists has been a little trying. It's been a little rough because we're all here for the same thing. It's a lot of competition. There's a lot of talent. And, you know, being in a city like this, we get looked at a certain way because of the dynamics of things going on in the city. So everybody walks around as if they have a chip on their shoulder. They have something that they gotta prove, you know, they're entitled to something. And it's kind of hard to work with people like that. Entitlement closes the mind.
Well, some of my challenges just have been, for real, dealing with people's attitudes. You know, you gotta be humble. People have to invest their time in you, and when you're somebody on my level, my time is money. You're not the one that's paying for the studio, the equipment, tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment programs. So if you come in with a lousy attitude, I ain't gonna want to do it for you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta come in, humble yourself, and represent yourself as a business person, not somebody on the street corner.
They won't tell an artist that they need to take time off and hone their skills. Instead, a lot of these producers and studio owners would just rather record them, make the money, send them off. And with them never getting an honest, opinion or honest view of their music, they don't know where to correct themselves. So you find a lot of the artists here in the city just falling into the same category and not really standing out.
When I said it's just, you know, a lot more than music with this, you know, the point of being consistent. I mean, Ronnie and Boo as producers, I mean, that's something that they provide to artists as well. Me being an artist, I've gotten that a lot of times. That's been one of my main challenges in my whole career.
They don't really pick my brain of what they're doing wrong, who they need to really meet, what are the steps when it comes to this, what is publishing. They don't ask those questions. They just want to ride around with their song, go on IG, which is cool. But I think they're missing that key component of people who are outside their peer group. I think that would be my main suggestion when it comes to young artists coming up. Like, master your talent, master social media, but find a team that can actually do something that you can't. A lot of times we surround ourselves with people who can do exactly what we can do good, which is cool. But I need somebody that can do something that I can't do, because that's gonna make me better long term.
All of us been in the game for a minute, you know what I'm saying? So when you see certain people doing certain things, you know, they only get 5 minutes of fame, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that 5 minutes of fame, when you on for a second and you got all these people in your ears telling you this and telling you that, but us as brothers, like, I'm not gonna lie, we have gotten to the point where, because we done fought, you know what I'm saying? We done behind the scenes, like, I don't fuck with you, but at the same time, we all come back together because we brothers. You know what I'm saying? And despite what anybody ever hear about us as being Crooked Streets, we support one another.
As far as anything else, I love working with local artists because they have a tenacity about them. That camaraderie, the competition. It's good to be in the middle of that and to be the guy pushing the buttons because I can help guide another artist into a path or a direction that he probably didn't think of taking at first. He was probably satisfied with just knowing, hey, I'm going to the studio, I'm recording myself, I'm getting a CD, I'm going home, I may get into an open mic. But to step in front of me and for me to be able to say, you know what, we might want to work on your look. We might want to work on the way you speak. You know, we might need to get some headshots done. Or let me take you out of town and show you how these people right here do on stage. You know, what is your stage presence like? Do you stand still? When you run out of words to say, do you poke the mic out and let the audience finish your sentence for you? Are you that comfortable? Are you that credible? Are you confident and are you humble enough to accept criticism?
Work with the engineer. Humble yourself. Let the engineer come in and do what he did because he probably know more than you did. Your talent just not going to work. So I try to teach people from day one, when you come to the studio, learn your engineer, learn the equipment, slow down. It's not going to happen overnight.
I think I'm a good example of how I kept my head in the game, my hands in the game to whatever extent. So if I'm not rapping, I'm recording. If I'm not recording, I'm booking shows for somebody. If I'm not booking shows, I found a new artist that can kind of take over where I left off, type of thing. And that is what has gotten me the quote unquote success that I have today, is that I never stop. Even when girlfriends and mother and what are you doing? Like, okay, it's getting old. I'm like, no, Ma, I'm telling you, watch.
Now, as far as my relationship with people in the industry, it's very much different because they have the mindset that they made it and they don't need anything from anybody. But that's another big problem because the point where you lose sight of the importance of the consumer, the listener, that's your heartbeat. You're blocking your blessing, you're blocking your path forward, and you're your biggest obstacle. So I take both. The local artists, the signed artists, I take a mix of everything that they have to offer and I put it in my pot to better me as an engineer and an artist as well.
The industry has changed dramatically. Record label companies are going, out of business, even studios, because of the technology change. So that's why it's important for young people to get educated and, know what the industry is like. So first of all, they can avoid getting ripped off. And then secondly, they'll be able to intelligently maneuver their way around the business and sort of know what direction to go in, because things change over time, just like in life in general.
Like when the digital game came on, it put a little damper to us, you know what I'm saying? Because it took some of the jobs away, took some of the money away, but now it's coming back again. There's so many jobs that's out here that we can hire friends, family to train them, bring them up in there where they can work back up and into a position again. You know what I'm saying? Of them doing it themselves, like each one teach one.
We ain't go to a lot of major distributors because we ain't want to go to no outside entity for us. We created jobs. Crooked Streets created jobs for us, and in doing that and in keeping that the way that it is now, it protects the interest, because now I have my son in here. We have daughters and sons that are coming up, and guess what? They're employed by Crooked Streets.
And now, everybody say go to New York, that's where you gotta go. But I beg to differ, because we've done it right here, right in this city. All I think we need is more economics. This is what Crooked Streets is bringing to the table now. We want to develop the whole culture of it being right here. The businesses being involved, seeing what people want and think will work, open up more venues, and putting on shows intertwining with our shows. You know what I'm saying? So this is the stage where we at now as Crooked Street, to be our media outlet, to be our radio station. It's only one radio station in Baltimore, besides college radio, but I'm talking about major market radio. It's only one. So if I was the only monopoly in a city, yes, I would put a strong headlock on that. I understand where they're coming from on the business side. Now we're in the stage of the internet, social media, streaming radio. Now there's a whole bunch of radio stations in this city that's putting out to their different demographic. So the more money we can get, the more crowds we can build, it's more beneficial for this city to be on as far as selling product. Not have to go out of town, but our products will go out of town, you know.
One thing that I always try to spread to people that I meet, I think it's very important that you follow your dreams. Like my whole thing from day one is that I always had a vision and something that I felt like, you know, if you keep this up, something can come from this. Like you can actually do this for a living. I don't think people should be gullible and naive to think that they shouldn't work and acquire income and things like that and just jump out the window for a dream. Even though some people that do that get it faster. But the main thing is, I think, just being determined, being smart, surrounding yourself with great people, and just having vision and believing in God. And
be hungry. Be hungry and learn what you're doing. So just don't be out here wilding doing anything if you don't know the business. So, you know, study both sides of it. You know what I'm saying? So if you got that high energy and you got that work ethic, know what you're doing, and you'll win.
With the naturally, the Catholic potent, the fleet to the Galapagos Ocean, braggadocious, blowing cancerous as the human papilloma, since the black aroma, casting over the black Moses, I provide the potion, son I'm gifted, divine to get the quotient, but when it's time to focus, I multiply the components, scripting these slide puppets, they delusional, living with psychosis, we're stuck with this like cystic fibrosis, bullets leave due to the seek and the speech that cannot prescribe an ancient wisdom when the God ink meets the papyrus, I'll be the highest seeker's piece of the reapers of life. Pina colada, sweet as Gaddafi. I'm out of the different depressed. We just meeting to block us in the trouble. Respect the people beside me. Ill in the beach, it's only deposit when